Um, the game isn't launching. What about Godus Wars? Godus Wars is working. Um, Give me a moment. I need to fix this. This isn't right. Oh, there we go. That works. I don't understand why the original Godus isn't launching. Okay, let me try to fix it. I'm gonna verify the game files, guys. Bear with me. So apparently this game has a workshop. I'm surprised this game has mods. Okay. It just doesn't want to work. I don't want to download a pirated version. Oh, delete a previous save. Let's try. Let's Google where it's located. Okay. Nope. Um, I'm sorry, this is embarrassing, I know. Okay, let's try to reinstall the game. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Oh, there you go. Restarting Steam worked. 12 minutes wasted for nothing. Hello, my brothers and sisters from hell. Welcome. It is the Satanic here from hell, and welcome to Godus. This is a game by a company called 22 Cans, which is another company Peter Molyneux has created. He is the person behind games like Godus. Behind games like Black and White, Dungeon Keeper, a bunch of other games. He is basically a game developer. He's sometimes compared to he's sometimes compared to Sean Murray of Hello Games, or Todd Howard of Bethesda, because
Hello, welcome to Godus, the PC version. This is Jack and I going to be doing a developer commentary, explaining some of the features, explaining why they're not finished, explaining our thoughts behind them. You can always turn off our slightly aggravating voices, especially if you're, well, I don't know about yours, mine's more gravelly. We're recording this in the studio, so if you hear any weird noises behind or swearing, we apologise in advance.
Authentic.
Yeah. So, here we go. We're going to do, these commentaries are going to come across as you unlock features in the game, and we're going to explain what those features are. We're doing this while we're playing through, so this is kind of an honest account of what's going on. You can always, as I said, turn this off in the settings menu.
Let's do it.
Click to continue.
So, and Todd Howard of Bethesda, in the way that he always overpromised on what he did. On every game that he developed, he kind of always overhyped it and promised features that eventually weren't implemented. If you want to hear a more detailed documentary on it, there's a guy on YouTube who made the Rise and Fall of Peter Molyneux, I believe the video is called. It's a video series. It's not one video. It's a few videos where he goes over everything that happened with Bullfrog, with Lionhead, and now with 22 Cans. The reason their studio is called 22 Cans is because this is Peter Molyneux's last project. He wanted to make a gaming studio, make 22 games, and then go ahead and retire. Their first game in the studio was Curiosity: What's Inside the Cube, which was a game that there was a cube in the game, which I'm pretty sure was built off 1 million mini cubes, and you would play the game online with other people in real time, and you would have to click the cube, and by clicking it, you remove one little qubit from it until it's completely gone. The person who would completely clear the cube, the last person to clear it, the first one, would receive a gift, which was, I think, eventually that person received a small amount of revenue from the game sales, whatever. This game came out for the Android and iOS, and is also available for the PC. The mobile and the mobile versions are free. However, some things, if you want to pay to win, you can buy diamonds. The PC version costs money and has those diamonds, but in order to get the diamonds on PC, there's no microtransactions. You just have to sacrifice people in the pit of destruction, which we will get to eventually. So, after releasing the Curiosity: What's Inside the Cube, he made the game Godus, and then its expansion Godus Wars, and then he made The Trail, which is also a mobile game. And after that, they kind of went quiet. I think they fired their entire staff. I think the studio closed. This game used to be on sale for on the PC. You can get it on Steam. However, later they moved studio, changed the services according to what they said on Steam. and they have now, what they did now is that it was incompatible with some kind of Amazon service, so they had to unlist it from the Steam page. If you already bought the game, you can still use it and still play it. But if you haven't, then it's gone now forever. If you want to try and get a pirated version, good luck, because we are playing right now in version 2.4, and version 2.4, if you try to pirate that version, the game just won't work. For some reason, there's some kind of bug, which is why I ended up buying the game like a year or more ago. We are going to be playing with developable commentary, and also I want to say that this is the type of game that you're supposed to play in small bursts, like play a bit, quit, come back when your houses are full of belief, do a bit of building, quit, come back, and that. But we are going to be playing it raw, like we usually do with a 2-hour stream. So these might be boring streams, whatever. The reason we're obviously playing Godus is because it's by Peter Molyneux, and this is basically the continuation of Godus Black and White. It's not really a continuation of Black and White, but it is a God game as well, so there you go. Let's continue.
Here we are at the start of the game. The first thing we wanted to do is to give you a feeling of connection with your two followers. Now, this is something that we're going to be working on over the forthcoming months. I like this very simple beginning. I love the idea that everything that's going to come from this, you should remember this first moment when you only had two followers. The first thing, of course, is sculpting. Now, sculpting is designed to be as relaxing as possible. Over the months, we have pulled back on sculpting, so don't over-sculpt, is my advice to you. Only sculpt when you need to sculpt. We don't want to get too tired. We don't want to take the power away to sculpt, we just don't want you to overdo it. So you shouldn't be doing this every second of the day, and it's later on in the game it's going to cost you a lot to sculpt. Remember that sculpting on sand is completely free, but buildings you put on land are on sand are less effective.
So, with a bit of a spoiler here, what I'm going to say is there are different cards that you will unlock, like this card, but this card is free. The rest of the cards will be paid for, with different stickers. He'll explain the system later, and I probably will explain it too. So, the best place to build buildings, which is the biggest buildings, are supposed to be built high on the snowy mountains. Now, the higher you build, the more belief it will cost to sculpt the land. So it kind of sucks, but that's how it is. So, and then you can combine all these little buildings into one big settlement. So again, it's really worth it building them higher and higher to get the biggest building out of it. It will also require iron and other stuff to build them as well. But that's kind of the point. So I think I wanted to say something else there, but whatever. Yeah. Also, you should be over sculpting, because if you sculpt, the more you fucking sculpt, the more buildings you can put on, and you want a lot of buildings. So I don't see the reason why you would say not to over sculpt. It's a good mechanic. So yeah, Godus is replacing Black and White because we finished Black and White 1 and 2. I don't know if I'm gonna have music because I want. I don't think there's normal music in the others. Okay.
Okay, you've just been asked to remove rocks. Rocks are a fantastic store of belief. My big tip, first big tip to you is don't destroy too many rocks, because later on they're a really good way of getting that and topping up your belief. They seem like a negative, but actually later in the game when you're not mining, they become a positive. So be careful with your rocks.
So basically, eventually you'll get a card that instead of getting only 10 belief per rock, you get 40 or some shit like that. And so he wants you to save them up for that. It really isn't all that good. I mean, it's kind of worth it. But at the end of the day, you'll have settlements producing lots of belief, so, you know. Oh my god. Sorry for wasting the first 17 minutes. Just I didn't expect the game to not work after me, you know, purchasing it and not illegally obtaining it, so. Building. Completing. Oh my god. Oh, a chest. Okay. Okay.
Here we are on the timeline. Now, we've gone through a ton of revisions, haven't we, on the timeline?
Yeah, started out as a book, and then where did we go from a book? I think we had many iterations at the
Yeah,
time.
many iterations. And really what we wanted to get to is a feeling for you that you were in control of what was unlocked and when it was unlocked. So there's two stages. That first, the first strip, you can scroll through now and you can see where your advances are happening. There's some truly exciting advances in there. New to the PC build is the completely new settlement thing. We'll come to that later. But you know, you need to be a little bit strategic, especially with the cards in the second row, which is the cards that you've discovered or unlocked by filling the bars up, and that you're going to unlock with stickers. Now, my big advice to you is don't waste your stickers. You're going to find they seem like you've got a lot of stickers at the start of the game, but as you go through, you'll realise that, say, being very strategic about the use of your stickers. Now, this first one is about new age settlers, and it allows you to build this new abode.
So I mean, you can use the undiscovered cards timeline to see have you got more than one type of card coming in after one another, and decide whether you want to save up. I'll end up having a few cards that I never complete because I want to save up something bigger because it gets tougher later on.
Yeah, definitely. And again, this is part of the kind of deeper strategy. The thing I like about this is that if you can't be bothered with that strategy, you don't have to. You can just stick your stickers on randomly. Your game is not going to be so naturally flowing if you do that. But if you are someone who I'm like this, who, you know, like a civilization player that likes to unlock the things that they actually want,
So here you can see the building on grass, building a first building on grass. This requires 30 people, okay? Then you can have larger buildings on grass, requires 60 people. But if you go over to the end, you'll see this massive metropolis, enormous property, requires 30 iron. And it's probably basically the best building. Enormous properties are the way to go. So there you go. Let's find the rock card that I wanted to show you about the rocks shit. I thought it's a card. I don't know. Well, here we go. 10. You get 40 per rock. There you go. This is the one I wanted to show you. Anyway, let's take it.
Right, you've received your first proper abode. Now, abodes have followers in them. There are two types of followers that live in this type of abode. One are breeders. If an abode has breeders in, that means more people will be bred. Fairly obvious that. They also have workers. Now, you will notice that a little pip appears over an abode when a worker has something to do. You can click on that pip. At this moment, that's pretty much the only thing you can do with workers, but very soon now you'll be unlocking leashing. There's lots of powerful things that you can do with leashing. So it will seem a little bit grindy for a while. We just want to get you totally used to the idea that workers live in abodes, breeders breed, abodes give you things like belief. So bear with us, because the real strategy starts coming in a little bit later.
You know, I'm wondering if they could have done this voiceover in some kind of professional studio, rather than in their office where you can hear people fucking where you can hear people. I forgot to set what game I'm playing. Where you can hear people sneezing and shit like that. I mean, come on. There we go. So,
Okay, now you've got the Restore Ruin card. This allows you to direct your followers to repair these ruins, which generally speaking will unveil different parts of the land. Now, there are different, later on in the game, there are different routes that you can take. Some of these will require either a lot of your resources or a lot of your followers to do. Generally speaking, the more followers you put into this, the faster they'll be discovered. So, I always like trying to get a follower to one of these temples as soon as I possibly can, and we'll be talking about that a little later. This is another feature which has been in the game for a long time. I really love the idea that you can use the resources of your followers either to build more, to expand your population, or you can use them to do things like restore ruin in the world.
And this card unlocks not just repairing these beacons, but other things in the world as well. Some things that we're actually hidden beneath the landscape right now. But you'll be able to repair anything once you've got this card.
This is the sacrificial place, by the way. Pit of Doom. They're building a bonfire.
You've just unlocked Belief, possibly the most valuable of all the resources in Godus. Belief allows you to sculpt anywhere, it allows you to use some of the god powers that you'll be unlocking in the next hour, And the more belief you have, the more powerful you feel as God. The main way is to leave your followers in an abode so they generate belief faster. Now, don't think that you're probably thinking at the moment, oh, well, I don't like leashing around and collecting my belief like that. We've got a solution for you later on. We allow you to group all your settlements together, so you only have to tap on a few things. But bear with us, because one thing I like about collecting belief at the start of the game, not at the end, not at the mid-game, but at the start of the game, is it reminds you, it pulls you back to your original settlers to pick up the belief. You'll also notice in the bottom left-hand corner that little pulsing belief ball shows you that you've got uncollected belief. We didn't quite have time to allow you to click on that to zoom to the place where the belief is, but we'll pick that up later on. You are now able to sculpt not only sand, but sculpt grass. But beware, because it costs you that valuable belief to sculpt on grass. The higher you sculpt, the more expensive. So don't, at this point, go to the top of a mountain and start sculpting down. You'll run out of belief within seconds. Keep your sculpts to the lowest level of grass, and I would use this at this point to maybe think about going on a bit of a treasure hunt. Now, we've hidden loads of chests around this first area, and just using your sculpting power to find some of those chests. They're going to give you stickers, and those stickers are going to allow you to unlock cards. It's great to have a little store of those stickers because it gives you the flexibility later on.
Yeah, where the sculpting's in kind of small drags rather than these big land manoeuvres, it means that you can kind of be a little cheeky when it comes to some of these chests and just notch out the land a little bit at a time, and that way if you can just see the chest poking out, sometimes you can get hold of it without having to burn a huge ton of belief.
He's really full of himself. Like saying, oh, it reminds you of this, reminds you of that. Like, dude, it's a game. This isn't a masterpiece. This isn't a work of art. It's a video game. Calm down. No. Is there a way to rotate the view? Okay, well. So eventually we'll have to kill these Astari people. Once it introduces happiness, we're gonna have to burn this village to the ground. And then in order to finish this land, we need to finish building this arc. And I don't know if there's a... I did get to the arc once, to the next level. I'm not sure if... what am I unsure of? I'm unsure if there's more than just after level 2. I only ever started level 2 and quit the game. I think that was in mobile, I'm not sure. But I've been playing this game for a long time, ever since, even though my original Galaxy S1 was rooted fresh from the store. But anyway. There we go, now they introduce gems. So you can buy stickers, or you can buy belief. On mobile, this costs real money, so...
Okay, Pit of Doom. This is the first PC exclusive feature, and it unlocks gems. Now here's the thing. I love, as a designer, the concept of gems. The gems on the PC are very, very different to gems on mobile. Gems on the PC allow you to use your skill to find and collect and hoard gems, and then using those gems on different areas of the game. If you want things to go faster, if you want a building to go faster, you can do that. If you want to give your followers gifts, you can do that. If you want to go through voyages with more followers, you can do that. Gems really allow you to use your impatience or your curiosity to mod the game. They're not something to be frightened about. And you'll notice on the PC as well, there's no way of buying gems with money. We don't want you to buy them with money. You've already spent your money on this game.
Fuck
you.
You
want to use your skill as a gamer to collect as many gems as possible. Now, there's two approaches to gems. The first approach is a turtle approach. I am a turtle. I like hoarding stuff and feeling rich. So collecting as many gems as you can, but don't spend them unless you feel you absolutely have to. The second approach is the spendthrift approach, and that means as soon as you get a gem, you spend it. Your average on average, you probably only have 4 or 5 gems at any one time, where the turtle will have up to 100 gems. Don't be frightened of these. These are exciting gameplay features. They've been balanced. This is balanced for you. I would warn you though, if you overspend at the start, you might live to regret it. You're going to get through the game faster than the turtle, but you're going to come to a point where you just wish you had more of those gems. There's always gems to find. There's 3 ways of getting gems. The first way is the Pit of Doom. Again, if you're a vengeful god, just sacrifice your followers. They'll go into the Pit of Doom and you'll get one, occasionally more than one, gems. Try different followers going into the Pit of Doom. There may be different results. That will give you a gem. But notice that your followers will become very unhappy. That doesn't seem to have an effect now, but it will later on. The second way is to do voyages. We're going to have voyages later on. These are directly related to your skill. Protecting your followers in a different minigame. And the third way is treasure hunting. You can go around and find chests which have gems hidden in them. Any or all of these ways are valid ways of getting gems.
He's really full of himself, I'm sorry, he just is. Should we unlock build on grass?
Okay, you've just unlocked the Living in Society card. This is an example of, do you waste your stickers on this? Do you, as a god, care about your followers being happy or being friends? Now, we are going to be introducing a lot about happiness. You'll notice on the right-hand side of the screen, there is a happiness bar. You may think, well, who cares? I don't really care about your happiness. Happiness is going to become very important later on. We'll talk about it when we come to it. But you know, I've played this game without unlocking the Living Society, and okay, my followers are a bit unhappy, but who cares? You don't want to waste those stickers at the moment. Next is the Temple of Doom. This is the first PC exclusive feature that we have, and we'll be talking about that. It's a really exciting feature.
I don't think I'm going to be unlocking Happy Society, but they haven't fully unlocked a star yet. Oh well.
The leash at last. For me, this is where the game really starts to be a bit more strategic. Deciding where your followers go, what they build, deciding whether or not you want to leash your followers to the pit of doom and get those lovely gems from sacrificing their lives. This is where it starts. Now, there's lots of different ways to use the leash. The first is to just tap and hold on a single follower and then direct them to where you want them to go. This can be to shrines of expansions that you've unlocked. This can be to repair different buildings. This can be to build things. This can be to take them and see what they will do. If you take a follower next to someone who's dead, you'll notice that they'll react differently. This is a way we think of you breaking their free will. It's fine to use the leash as much as you want. Later on, in a subsequent update, we're tracking the amount of time you take the free will away from your followers. So there is going to be a consequence to what I call over-leashing, but at the moment, you know, feel free to do whatever you want with your followers.
This is that's my favourite thing to do actually, when you just get like, you save up your leaf and you get about 15 people and lead into a massive area of land that you've prepared, and then just leash and let them all go to it and just start a massive building project. This is also the way that you get people to Pit of Doom, just in case you're wondering. And this was a replacement for the totem that we originally had, which was a lot harder to balance and lit or fiddling. This was a more tactile way of giving this mechanic.
Yeah, and it does feel really nice to have that tactile feedback on your followers, to actually pick a follower up and decide exactly where they'll go. again, this is another thing I love about our approach is you may never use the leash. You can just sprog. It's called sprogging. If you tap on the follower pip above a house, you don't have to bother about it, but it does allow you for deeper strategies, really planning out your world. Sculpting an area that's up high, for example, will give you more belief when they generate belief, but you'll need to get your people there, and using the leash to do that is a fantastic way.
You can also use this mechanic on trees or rocks to destroy trees or rocks, the same with collecting belief. So clicking and holding on any object in the world and dragging will usually give the same result.
Five people? We'll need more belief in order to get them to repair it.
Bigger abodes. Now, this has been quite a little. You've had quite a lot of waiting around, haven't you, to get this card? You have to get your population up to about 60. This is why, if you find yourself waiting too much, spend those gems to speed up those house buildings. I would say to you is sand is great to expand up your population. If you sculpt on sand, remember it's free. You can always throw people for absolutely free, for no belief whatsoever. But, you know, a lot of little abodes on sand, it's not really, you're not really investing long term. It's better to get those abodes on grass. So I would focus on getting that first area just sculpted out and get to those bigger abodes because they're much more efficient generating belief. The followers like living in bigger abodes, they like advancing through those abodes.
Fuck it, let's get it.
unlock this card. It's incredibly valuable. Those rocks that are getting in the way, they really can be a great source of belief. Also, if you're finding yourself waiting around, use the leash loads. Almost every, at this stage of the game, almost every follower in your world should be building something. So leash to a spare plot, sprog a spare plot, and you'll be speeding through this section. We really, in design terms, I really want you to, the reason why we slightly paused the game here, I really want you to get used to leashing. I want you to get used to this way of gameplay. If something is taking a long time, focus on something else. If building is taking a long time, focus on picking up rocks now that they're worth 10 times their belief when you unlock this card. If you're finding that you've run out of rocks, focus on treasure hunting. If you're finding that you're running out of treasure, you can start doing voyages if you unlock that. Don't forget, if you haven't built the dock at the moment, leash more people to it. Speed it up with gems, because those voyages are a brilliant way of doing something while your little people, your little followers get on with building the world, the building tasks you set them.
Let's go. Look at that, Peter. I don't have enough. Oh, it's the Astari. And I was like, who's laughing like a fucking maniac?
Okay, you've reached voyages. This is a completely separated mini-game. Now, the point is, when you're doing a voyage, remember your homeworld is carrying on playing, so you know it's a great thing to do if you're waiting around for your followers to build things. After you've done this introductory voyage, you're going to have lots of voyages to choose from. And each one of those voyages can give you rewards for completing land, like extra gems, more belief, more stickers, and later on some of the more resources. Also, as you do each of those lands, some of those lands we've hidden chests in, so there's some really nice bonuses to find in there. Generally speaking, when you complete a voyage, there's a big reward at the end, so it's well worth spending your time. Big tip here. Make sure when you go off and do your voyage, you set your world up so there's lots of building going on. So when you've completed a voyage, you can come back and everything is all going to be set in place and the things being built. This is the whole ethos of the game. This is not a game that is you just do one thing at a time. There's lots of things that you can do at a time. You should not be waiting around, especially on the on this build. You should never be waiting around. There's always things for you to do.
I'm not getting that card. Okay, let's do the voyages, why not? Okay. Damn it. I'd like to do this again. Oh well, for now. Wow. Waiting for them to build. What? Okay. How many people do I need to unlock the first settlement? 165. Okay. Oh, thank God. Finally. Now we can remove the rocks. Let's go. 40 belief. Okay. We need to break through this land. We want to break through here. I can probably play my music, but I don't know if I want to do it on the first episode. Plus, it's gonna interrupt the developer commentary when the developer commentary does happen, so... That one's underwater. This one is also, I can't sculpt there yet. Need to unlock it. Okay. This game used to look differently in the alpha on PC. It was very different. Godus Wars was actually part of this game as an integrated into it by default. You would sometimes get a notification to fight a rival tribe, but then they made them separate games, so whatever. We're gonna play Godus Wars as well, because why not? Ah.
This is the first of your god powers. It's a pretty simple god power, it seems like at the start. Now, you may think this is all about making a world beautiful, and indeed it does, but it's got some side effects to it which are really useful and stretchy later on. The first thing you'll notice is when you put down a tree, the tree will slowly grow over time. You can use other god powers to enhance that growth, but the people really like it. If you put it down near an abode, they'll come out and they'll worship it. Your happiness will go up slightly, and that again is going to be important if you haven't reached yet reached the full impact of happiness. Also, later on in the game, if you look through your timeline, you'll notice that trees enhance and buff abodes near them. So really careful strategic placing of your trees Be careful though, because the more trees you put down, the more expensive it is. Also, at this point in the game, if you haven't unlocked the expansion temple, make sure you do. Make sure that if you have unlocked it, that second layer that unlocked is a great place to get ready for settlements. You'll see what I mean when we come to settlements, but don't over-sculpt. You shouldn't be sculpting most of the time now. You should be treasure hunting, you should be going on voyages, you should be strategically getting people to build things. At this point, your world shouldn't be a really big flat plane, unless you want it to be, of course. You may be the sort of person that wants that stuff. There's no real specific advantage to over-sculpting. It's better to use the landscape in the way you can. We've been really careful of how we design this land, so that there's lots of little hints in the landscape itself as to the best way to get through this section.
That was a bit of a throwback to Fable, I think, because in the beginning of Fable, you're gonna plant this acorn, and that acorn is gonna grow into a tree. Come on, Peter. Meteor shower. Farming citizens unlock it once again. Yeah, we used to wait. Fuck you. They sound like fucking minions.
Okay, Bronze Age stickers. Now you may have been thinking to yourself, oh god, it's so many stickers to unlock a card, this is getting tedious, and this is where we want that frustration to turn into motivation. So we give you this Bronze Age sticker resource card. If you unlock this with nice big fluffy cloud stickers, you'll then have, every time you discover a sticker, it has a good chance of being double, sometimes even triple the value. You'll notice that some stickers have multiple resources on it. Later on there's going to be another one of these to unlock to make me even more powerful. My advice to you is, if you have unlocked times 10 rocks, now is the time to focus on this card. It's a valuable card, and it means all of your treasure hunting and voyages will be a little bit better.
Well, he's really, really, really full of himself, guys. I'm not gonna knock it and say this is a bad game, because it really isn't. But come on, man. It's just a game. You don't have to oversell it. You already did. I oversell it. I bought the game, but come on. There we go, farming settlements.
Here we go. Probably my favourite new feature in the PC build is this farming and civilizing. We've gone through, God, Jack, we've gone through so many iterations.
3 major iterations. But this is where the game really starts for me.
And it really allows you to strategically organise your population into a far more efficient workforce. It also solves one of the problems that I'm sure you're frustrated with now, and that is the number of clicks you have to collect belief. Now, we've considered a whole host of things to help with that. We've considered birds flying out and picking up the belief for you.
What?
We've considered statues that allow you to auto-collect belief. But actually, the answer is in settlements. What you can do with settlements is group all your abodes together into one enormous village, town, and eventually even city.
Slum.
And that means you've only got 1 click to collect all your belief. So do this now. Really play around with it. Move the circle around to get as many abodes in. Try it out. Get a sample of it. See if you like the look. Think about how you're going to expand after that. This is where the real strategy is. I've seen many people, with careful placement of settlements, really advance much further. After this card is unlocked and the build of settlements afterwards, I find my world reduces down from about 50 abodes to about 10 abodes. And as many settlements as I can squeeze in. You'll also have to save up belief. This is well worth saving up for. Do everything you can, get belief. Do voyages, go on rock hunts, spend some of those gems. You want this feature now because the game really starts improving after this feature.
Take advantage of the old preview button as well with the settlements, because you can keep moving that ring around so subtly and get very different results with kind of clumping of the houses as they build these like shanty towns. And
Exactly.
Really lovely creative stuff, and continue to apply to it as well. And if you look at the abodes, we've kind of gone through a few different abode designs over the times, and some of them weren't too kind of complementary to the repetition of abodes and things, but now we've kind of gone with this nice blockish look, which really allows you to kind of clump all the houses together. It gives us somewhere to go later on as well.
Let's turn this piece of shit into a farm, because I don't like seeing these tents. We can upgrade it, by the way, with 10 gems, but Fuck it. It really is a shanty town, huh?
Wood-built abodes. Now this allows you to build bigger abodes on sand. It's a tough choice, this one. You're just at the stage where you're realising the different types of stickers unlock different advances for your people. Personally, I tend to leave this one for a little bit later because I want to save my green stickers up for the larger abodes on sand because I'm building settlements now. And I really want those larger abodes to be grouped into my settlements. So my tip to you is don't unlock the wood-built card until you've got larger abodes, but it's very much up to your personal play. Now, super fast building. You've been so patient waiting for those little followers to build things. You'll now, once you've unlocked this, everything speeds up by an enormous factor. But, and here's a but.
Oh my god.
You need to fuel your builders with the crops resource now. And this is where you have to think carefully. Do I get my followers to build fields, unlock more cards through unlocking those fields, or do I continue down and pursue the route of builders building abodes? Also, you'll notice if you tap on the follower, you can use wheat to speed them up, and they get a lot faster. We're still in the process of balancing this a bit, actually, so you may find within a couple of days we'll be looking at the analytics to see how often you're using this to speed up your followers. If we might make that a little bit more generous, but at the moment, using wheat for two things. One is to enable you to build and expand out abodes, and the second is to speed followers up. Now, it may seem to you at the start of this that this is us being a bit mean. It'll slow down the number of buildings you're able to build because you'll be collecting wheat. After a couple of hours of gameplay, you'll feel rich in wheat because what we want you to do is focus less on building things and more on exploiting things. So, my tip is build a minimum of 3 farming settlements. Make sure that you've always got abodes around those settlements that you can add to, because you can always add to settlements when they're there. Don't go on build big building frenzies, but continue to unlock shrines of expansion.
See what I mean? Now, each one of these fields will take probably like an hour to grow. Maybe not always. And you need to collect a lot of them, so this is going to be tricky. It's going to take a long while before they can build anything new. So, that's how this works now. That's how this works now. Oh. Up to 5 farmers. Did I waste a diamond on it by accident? Oh well. Well, we're almost out of time, so let me start wrapping this up. I do want to say that I hope you do enjoy this series, because I know this game is much different than Black and White. But it's, you know, by the same developer. It has the same motivation, I guess, behind it, of being a god game. So despite it not being, you know, a direct sequel, it is still a god game made by the same dev. So I hope at least that would entice some people to watch, but probably not. This will be a slow experience because, like I said, we're gonna be playing this 2 hours weekly. Every 8 days I play, you know, the same game, right? So I play this game every 8 days for 2 hours, and we see what we can do in that time. This isn't the type of game you're supposed to play at 2-hour bursts. It's a game you're supposed to play at short bursts over many days, but that's not something I can allow myself to do. That's just not how I run this channel. So sadly, we'll have to play this very, very wrong. But we'll see what we can accomplish. We have played waiting games, so playing waiting games, so it's gonna be all right. It's gonna fit right into my play style. Anyway, we're on to our last minute. Sorry that the beginning was a bit shitty, that I couldn't get the game to run. Apparently, I just had to restart Steam, which is working fine now. Yeah, I'm gonna probably go get something to eat and then go play some Hydroneer. With that said, we're very, very close to finishing the episode. We got 30 seconds left. So, you know. This is also, like I said, available on the mobile. I'm pretty sure you mentioned it too, but, you know. I'm never gonna play this on mobile ever again. I'm done with Godus. This is just a let's play now, and that's it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this first episode of Godus. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time, and goodbye.